Tonight, security is again the center of interest and a major concern for everyone. When clergymen take to the streets to protest the spate of killings, that speaks volume of how serious the situation is. And then a major concern for the Christian Association of Nigeria is the targeting of their members, a situation which almost played out today with the arrest of a man with explosives at a church in Kaduna State. Beyond the killings, health security is also on the front burner, with authorities assuring Nigerians that there is no case of coronavirus in the country. On that note, we kick off with the prayer walk led by the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, against insecurity and killings in the country. But it's not just a walk. The cleric also offered prayers for the nation, saying every soul is precious to God, whether Christian or Muslim. Our correspondent, Dari Dowu, reports.
It's not a regular church service here at the national headquarters of the RCCG in the Butemeta area of Lagos. The congregation, young and old, are expected to do more, walk and pray. Before then, Pastor Adeboye reflects on the state of the nation.
Not too long ago, at least in my own lifetime, there was a time when the naira was almost equal to the pound sterling. People were rushing in to Nigeria from India, from Ghana, from all over. But now, government are saying we will not even be allowing Nigerians to come. Every soul is precious to God. If a Christian dies, we've lost a brother or a sister. If a Muslim dies, we've lost a potential brother. I want you to lift your voice to the Almighty God and say, Father, in Nigeria, let there be no more death of the innocent.
At about 11 a.m., they step out on the street with Pastor Adeboye walking his talk. He leads the congregation holding a placard, all souls are precious to God. About 25,000 parishes of the church are carrying out a similar exercise nationwide.
Khan is an authority over the Christian, so his voice can only be heard through Khan and PFN.
Local parishes of the Redeemed Christian Church of God follow the lead from the headquarters in a prayer walk against killings in the country. With songs, they call on God to save Nigeria. The placards speak their minds. Every passing vehicle and everyone they come across receive the message. Pastor Adeboye had directed the congregation to participate in the prayer walk declared by the Christian Association of Nigeria to address the spate of killings in the country. Dari Dowu, Channels Television News.
A similar protest walk was also called by the Christian Association of Nigeria, this time not just in Lagos, but in all states across the country. CAN President Reverend Shupo Ayokunle, who led the walk in Ibadan, calls for an end to the killings, abduction and abuse of Christians. Our next report captures the prayer walk in Oyo State and in some other southern states.
State officers of CAN in our midst.
The killing of its chairman in Michika, Adamawa State by Boko Haram insurgents is still a pain yet to heal.
We demand that the president should fully reorganize and engage the security architecture of the nation to fight terrorism headlong and erase the name of Nigeria from the negative rating of the third most deadly terrorist nation in the world.
Sunday service at Orita Meta Baptist Church, Ibadan, Oyo State, focuses on prayers for Nigeria. The president of the Christian Association of Nigeria calls for an end to killings, abductions, and abuse of Christians all over the country.
This nonsense of killing must stop. Our president, Muhammadu Buhari, should rise up and up his game on the issue of security.
In the same vein, former president of Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, Bishop Taiwo Adelakun, calls on the federal government to scale up security measures to protect lives and property.
We should continue to pray for those who are in authority to be stirred up, to live up to the expectation. Because the role of anybody in government, people in government, is to secure lives and property of the people that are citizens of that nation.
On the streets, some Christians speak through the placards. Obadeshida Road in Akure, Ondo State, hosts a number of Christians whose weapon are their songs of praise. The walk in Lagos is from Alagomeji to Sabo, and the demand is the same.
We need peace in our nation. Without peace, there can be no progress, there can be no prosperity. Because of the evils of this nation, investors are running away over the last 20 years. They don't want to invest in our nation, a nation of great prospects. Go and see Nigerians doing great things all over the nations.
The church maintains that its weapons are prayers and continues push for the government to brace in protecting the citizenry from every threat.
Now, Christians in the northern part of the country were not left out as they joined the walk in Plateau, Niger, Kaduna and the Federal Capital Territory. A call for more action from government.
Members of the Church of Christ in Nigeria, in just South local government area of Plateau State, in obedience to the directive of the Christian Association of Nigeria, stage a walk against insurgency in the country. The congregation, after offering prayers for the nation and the leadership, embarked on the prayer walk along the Bukuru Expressway, led by Reverend Budadi Taki, who emphasized the sanctity of the lives of citizens, irrespective of tribe, religion, or party affiliation.
Every responsible government, the first and the last responsibility is to care for life.
We cry out to you, Abba Father. In Kaduna State, Christians from various denominations gathered at the Albarka Baptist Church in the state capital for the special prayer. Led by the Kaduna State Chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Reverend Joseph Hayab, and other Christian leaders, members of the Christian community who dressed in black attire call on the government as a matter of urgency to stop the killings, saying enough is enough.
Our simple appeal is that government, we are not contesting your office, we are saying do what the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria said, protect her citizens.
In Taraba State, the march is led by the Taraba State Christian Association of Nigeria Chairman, Isaiah Magaji. Magaji insists that any government that fails to provide a peaceful atmosphere for its citizenry has failed, noting that equality and justice for all should be the watchword of government at all levels.
We cannot continue to be quiet when lives are being lost every day. And we want to tell everybody, including the President of Nigeria, that any single life that is lost in Nigeria is a sin against God.
In the nation's capital, the prayer march was observed by various denominations, all with the same call for government to increase action towards ending the killing of innocent Nigerians.
We cannot be sitting down as a church and be expecting this irrational killing of our brethren, Christian brethren, and in some cases, some Muslim. We just must come out, tell the country that the Nigerian nation is bigger than anybody.
We should still continue to pray for this nation. We should not lose hope as regards the nation. There is hope for Nigeria.
The prayer walk marks the end of a 3-day prayer session which began on the 31st of January 2020 and comes a few days after the execution of the chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Michika local government area of Adamawa State, Pastor Lawan Andimi, by Boko Haram insurgents, as well as the kidnap of 4 seminarians of the Good Shepherd Catholic Seminary in Kakao along Kaduna-Abuja Expressway. One of the seminarians has been killed. Kayla Megwa, Channels Television News.
Grave indeed, the issue of security. But just as the protests were going on, the police in Kaduna State announced the arrest of a middle-aged man with dangerous items suspected to be improvised explosive device at a church in Sabon-Tasha area of Chikun local government area of the state. The command's public relations officer, DSP Yakubu Sabo, told our correspondent that the suspect, Nathaniel Samuel, was apprehended by security officials at the Living Faith Church during Sunday service with a bag containing explosive devices. He explains that the suspect has been taken to the command's Criminal Investigation Department for further interrogation on the motive for entering the church with the bag and the explosives. Staying in Kaduna State and still talking security, one of the 4 Catholic seminarians abducted from their hostel on January 10th at the Good Shepherd Major Seminary in Chikun local government area of the state has been killed by his abductors. The registrar of the seminary, Reverend Father Joel Usman, who confirmed the incident in a statement, says the body of the seminarian was found in the bushes. Police authorities say the kidnappers invaded the seminary at Kakao Village along Kaduna-Abuja Highway through a porous point and started shooting sporadically before abducting the 4 students from their hostels. 3 of the victims were later released from captivity.